The first thing that hit me was the smell. It was a cold January morning in 1947, Los Angeles, and the call had come in early. A body was found in a vacant lot, sprawled out in the middle of a neighborhood that was just waking up to the horrors of a new day. My stomach turned as I approached the scene, not just from the stench of death, but from the brutality that awaited me. The victim was a young woman, her body severed, clean in half at the waist. No blood, no signs of a struggle. It was as if she had been placed there, meticulously arranged, a grotesque display. Her arms were posed above her head, her legs spread, her mouth, cut from ear to ear, grinned up at me with a terrifying smile. This wasn't a killing, it was something far more calculated. This was a performance. I had seen my share of death, but nothing like this. The lack of blood at the scene suggested that she had been killed elsewhere, her body carefully drained and cleaned before being dumped here, like some macabre gift left for the world to find. Whoever did this wasn't just a killer. They were methodical, organized, a professional maybe, someone who took pleasure in the details. We immediately set up a perimeter, canvassing the area for witnesses, but there was little to go on. The night had been quiet, and the lot was desolate, isolated between residential homes. No one had seen or heard anything. The first step was identifying the victim. Her fingerprints were sent to the FBI, and within hours, we had a name, Elizabeth Short. She was a small-town girl from Massachusetts who had come to Hollywood with dreams of making it big in the movies. But like so many before her, the bright lights of Hollywood had offered only shadows. We dug into her life, tracing her movements in the days leading up to the murder. Elizabeth was known for her beauty, often dressed in black, her raven hair and striking looks earning her the nickname, the Black Dahlia. But beneath the glamorous exterior, her life had been troubled. She floated from place to place, never staying in one spot for too long. She had been staying in cheap hotels and boarding houses, bouncing between jobs, and relying on the kindness of men who promised her fame. One lead came from a bartender at the Biltmore Hotel, who claimed to have seen her the night before she disappeared. She had been waiting for someone, perhaps a date or a meeting. That was the last time anyone saw her alive. The crime scene itself yielded almost no clues. No fingerprints, no DNA, no murder weapon. Whoever did this had covered their tracks well. The autopsy revealed that Elizabeth had been tortured before she died. She had been tied up, beaten, and cut with surgical precision. The cause of death was a blow to the head, but the mutilation of her body was done after she was already dead. The killer wanted to send a message. I began to sift through Elizabeth's life, looking for anyone who might have had a motive to harm her. She had been involved with numerous men, some of them powerful, some of them dangerous. I interviewed them all. Hollywood producers, nightclub owners, low-level criminals. They all had alibis. They all claimed innocence. The deeper I got into the case, the more it seemed like Elizabeth had been on the periphery of something dark. Her associations with certain figures in Los Angeles suggested she might have known something she shouldn't have, or perhaps she had simply crossed the wrong person. As the investigation dragged on, pressure mounted. The media dubbed her the Black Dahlia, sensationalizing the story. The public was obsessed. Theories ran wild, ranging from a botched abortion to a serial killer preying on young actresses. But nothing stuck. Then, a letter arrived at the LAPD. It was neatly written and signed by someone claiming to be Elizabeth's killer. Inside were pieces of her personal belongings, a birth certificate, photos, and addresses written in block letters. The letter was taunting, as if the killer was playing with us, daring us to find them. Whoever this person was, they were confident, almost arrogant, and their cruelty was unmatched. Despite the growing list of suspects and dozens of confessions, we never got close. Every lead brought us back to the same dead end, a man who knew how to kill and how to disappear, a ghost in the city of angels. The case consumed me. The brutality, the mystery, the victim who had come to Hollywood seeking stardom only to find death. It was a city that promised dreams, but for Elizabeth Short, it had delivered a nightmare. Years passed, and still I kept searching. Other cases came and went, but none left a mark on me like the Black Dahlia. I'd stare at the crime scene photos late into the night, wondering if there was something I missed, a clue hidden in the gore. But nothing ever came. Elizabeth Short was buried, her dreams of Hollywood stardom buried with her. And yet, her case remained open, a haunting reminder of the violence lurking beneath the glamour of the city. To this day, her murder remains one of Los Angeles' most infamous unsolved crimes.